2 weeks ago, we spoke on the subject of Bill Lustig's incendiary 1996 horror satire Uncle Sam, one of the rare 90s horror films that wasn't afraid to get political in an era of genre film that always seemed to want to be above all that. But while Lustig had touched on hot-button topics occasionally before in the edgy maniac cop movies, Uncle Sam's ideological forebears can more overwhelmingly be found in the career of its screenwriter, prolific B-movie legend Larry Cohen. A nuts-and-bolts genre filmmaker active primarily in the 70s and 80s, known for turning standard-issue grindhouse setups into thoughtful and subversive exercises, Cohen is often thought of as a companion filmmaker to other hard-working genre transcenders like John Carpenter. But Cohen brings a decidedly different energy to his work, grounded in the gritty sensibilities and matter-of-fact language of his own blue-collar New York background. As director of Black Caesar and Hell Up in Harlem, he was unquestionably the most important non-black filmmaker in the early days of what came to be called the blaxploitation genre, but he found his true calling in crafting a succession of guerrilla-style horror, action, and sci-fi features that imbued seemingly typical B-movie setups with edgy, politically charged plots and authentically cutting social conscience. Perhaps best known for the infamous killer baby movie It's Alive, his repertoire also includes Q the Winged Serpent, The Ambulance, God Told Me To, special effects, the screenplays for both phone booth and cellular, and extensive television work on top of all that. The Stuff isn't precisely Cohen's best film, but it could easily be thought of as the apotheosis of his genre work, a satirical horror comedy that combines The Blob and Invasion of the Body Snatchers into a dark send-up of the American junk food industry, in which a yogurt-like snack treat called The Stuff has taken the nation by storm.
Only the most discriminating clientele.
How's the food, sweetheart? That's nice.
Where's the stuff?
Enough is never enough. Enough is never enough of the stuff.
The stuff, the taste that makes you hungry for more.
But one suspicious suburban youth named Jason is beginning to think something is not quite right about it. However, despite this being a movie from 1985, young Jason is not our main character. Instead, we're following Michael Moriarty, a once sought-after character actor who did several films with Cohen and is probably best remembered as Ben Stone, the original pre-Stam Waterston Assistant DA on Law & Order, as an ex-FBI agent turned industrial saboteur named Mo, who's hired by a secret cabal of CEOs representing powerful ice cream and dessert companies to discover and steal whatever the secret is that's letting the stuff push them out of their own market. And it's scenarios like that and dialogue like this that keeps people coming back to Larry Cohen movies.
We don't want to know how you do it. Just, do it.
I understand you guys don't like me. Heard it on the tap there. Someone said I've been fired from the FBI, and that I've been blackballed, and that I was obscene. Someone here said I was obscene. Somebody here. Who said I was obscene?
How the hell did you know that?
Well, while you were at the Metropolitan Opera last night, I just happened to be walking through your hotel room, and I dropped this in your pocket.
Well, you know, Mr. Rutherford,
Yes, sir?
I don't think you're quite as dumb as you appear to be.
No one is as dumb as I appear to be.
The investigation introduces him to Andrea Marcovici as a commercial producer responsible for The Stuff's marketing campaign, but who doesn't know much about it otherwise, and the FDA administrator who approved The Stuff, but also appears to have been bought off with The Stuff, which apparently you should not feed to your dog, either. The mystery ultimately leads to a ghost town in Virginia where The Stuff had been test marketed and hooks him up with Garrett Morris as Chocolate Chip Charlie, a self-made cookie kingpin who is put out of business by The Stuff and helps discover its terrible secret.
Okay, lethal hands, kill the door.
Watch out for spinners. I always knock first.
The Stuff really does move around on its own, and consuming too much of it eventually turns you into a hollowed-out stuff zombie.
The only thing Chocolate Chip Charlie knows better than fighting is running.
Pick a direction.
Get that boat, Charlie! Get that boat! There's a hole in that sucker! Get in the boat!
Awesome. No CGI effects here either. The Stuff effects were all done with models, composites, and trick photography. Even the set-piece sequence where Moriarty and Marcovici are attacked by a whole blob of it in a motel room after he convinces her that she's been unwittingly helping something sinister.
I'm gonna burn it.
I'll kill you! Leave us alone! Leave us alone! Look, I'll burn the hell out of it.
That shot was done using a set that's actually the interior of a huge box that can be rotated in midair, with the camera and everything but that one actor and the industrial foam playing the stuff bolted into place, so that to the camera it looks like they're both sliding up the wall when you play the footage back. The same rig was actually used to do the similar shot from A Nightmare on Elm Street. In any case, with Chocolate Chip Charlie dispatched to alert the FBI, the other heroes rescue Jason from his stuff-addicted family.
Thought you loved this house, Jason. That's why we bought it.
What about your new room? We got you everything you asked for.
Are we asking you for so much? We don't get tired now that we've been eating properly.
I saw it move too. Get in the back.
And head for the stuff's secret processing factory where they discover the whole shocking truth. It's not processed at all. The stuff is alive, some kind of prehistoric sentient hive mind of microorganisms that's bubbled up from the bowels of the Earth itself.
What the hell are they doing?
That stuff comes right out of the center of the Earth. And straight into our supermarkets.
And is using the machinery of modern consumer food industry to spread itself across the world and consume the human race. And while the good guys are able to inflict a little bit of damage on their own, they're gonna need backup and decide to get it from the only folks who'd both immediately believe such a ridiculous story and be equipped to do something about it.
A castle?
I know the man who lives here. I know everything about him. He doesn't know me.
A violent, heavily armed right-wing separatist militia.
You remember, you were worried about the commies putting fluoride in our water system?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Now, you know there's a thing going on now that's a lot worse.
Sons of bitches. They're flaunting that.
Yeah, I guess they forgot about Colonel Spears, huh? They didn't know you were around and that you had something in you and you could want them to bring to their knees, right?
Hoo boy, this whole subplot. Yeah, so in 1985, we didn't really grasp what these guys were eventually going to become. We just thought they were funny. But hey, someone else from Law & Order, huh?
Well, this is disgusting.
No show of resistance.
They may not be armed, sir.
Doesn't matter if they are armed. There is no match for the American boy. We have never lost a war.
What about Nam, sir?
We lost that war at home, Sonny. Still warm. This must have just happened. Look out! Don't land!
Also, to Cohen's credit, he doesn't sugarcoat that our temporarily useful rent-a-mercs are still a bunch of paranoid racist assholes.
I will permit this colored man to speak. But speak one word of the Commie Party line, or one word in code, and I will blow his head off.
But they're paranoid racist assholes with their own radio station, of course, which the good guys can use to broadcast the truth about the stuff worldwide, though not soon enough to save poor Chocolate Chip Charlie.
Charlie, are you all right? What's the matter? Charlie, Jason, don't let it touch you.
Get the girl out!
Or it's implied to stop life from finding a way. As I said, The Stuff is probably not Larry Cohen's best movie, but it is one of his most bizarre and interesting works. A truly unusually and unsettling film that jumps back and forth from straight horror to outright comedy, and has become a genuine cult classic as a result. Cohen never quite got his due in his day, partially because he didn't make that many films, all things considered, and also possibly because his films were not quite as, well, for lack of a better word, geeky than what later became the standard model for rediscovered cult classics. But his fame has been making up time within the last few years, and is set to culminate with the release of King Cohen, a new documentary retrospective of his career that's currently touring the festival circuit in 2017.
Enough is never enough.
And so ends Schlocktober for another year. Next week, we'll be back to normal, or whatever passes for normal around here. Thanks for tuning in. Hey gang, here's a question that keeps coming up. If your handle is moviebob, where are your movie reviews? Well, my old reviews are in a lot of places. You'll find many of them on my YouTube channel, but you'll find the brand new ones on geek.com, an awesome site that's also your one-stop news source for science, TV, gaming, technology, nerd culture, the works. You can find all my reviews directly by going to geek.com/author/bchipman, because that's my real name, and you can get regular updates on all my reviews and all of geek.com's other great content by signing up for their kick-ass newsletter at subscribe.geek.com. And don't forget to also subscribe to the Geek.com YouTube channel, where you'll find the videos that accompany my reviews and tons of other great content too. Remember, that's Geek.com, the Geek.com newsletter, and Geek.com on YouTube. Make sure you don't miss out on all the latest MovieBob reviews. You can also check out my own new website, MovieBob Central, where you'll find my blog, links to all my work, and shop for my books, ebooks, and future MovieBob products. And please remember to like these videos, share them with all of your friends, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching another MovieBob production.